If you add といいですね or といいんですがright after a verb in its plain present tense, that is a way of expressing that you hope that that verb happens. The implication is if this verb happens, it's a good thing because "い" means good. You can also do this with adjectives, but we're going to get to that later. So what is the difference between いいですね and いいんですが? The ne, the one with ne, is when you're expressing that you hope that a verb happens to somebody else, and that would be a good thing. Whereas the んですが is expressing that you hope that this good thing, that this verb happens to you personally. So if I were to say 来年日本に行けるといいですね what I'm saying is I hope you, because I used ne, get to go to Japan next year. Wouldn't that be nice? Whereas if I were to say the exact same sentence, but I replaced the といいですね with といいんですが or といいんだけど it would be 来年日本に行けるといいんですが or 来年日本に行けるといいんだけど That means I hope I get to go to Japan next year. And then the implication there is but, ga, kedo, I'm not sure it's going to happen. Because I'm a little humbler when I'm talking about myself. I'm a little more pessimistic in my hope when I'm talking about myself. And when I'm talking about my hope for other people, I'm a little more optimistic. Ne, like, yeah, it's going to happen. That's going to be great, isn't it? And these, wouldn't it be nice if, and, but I'm not sure it's going to happen, nuances, they're in the background. They're not like, don't think of it literally that way every time you hear といいですね or といいんですが. Don't be like, oh yes, wouldn't that be nice? And oh, but I don't think it's going to happen. These are just nuances that are in the background to help you understand the essence of that more. So next, you may wonder why there is a in the sentence that's expressing that you hope something good happens to you. The ですが or ですけど or だけど. You may remember back in my Japanese for Beginners series, so this is like several months ago now, one of the final lessons in that series was des, and you might remember from that that des is a way of explaining or defending yourself. So in this case, you're just kind of explaining, gee, I'm hopeful about this because, like, I hope that this would happen to me, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. So that's what that is. So back to といいですね, none of this selfishness. Back to いいですね. You can say that when you want to express that you hope something good happens to somebody else, but you can also include yourself if you're talking about the world at large, not necessarily you and I are having a conversation and I say something といいですね. I'm not necessarily talking about you personally. I might be talking about that I hope that this verb happens to our class or to our family or to the world at large. So here's an example that's more of a generalization. I'm not necessarily saying to you, the person I'm speaking to, but I'm saying it like in regards to everybody. 明日晴れるといいね. So 明日 is tomorrow. 晴れる is a verb that means to be clear or to be sunny. So, gee, I hope that it's sunny tomorrow. Wouldn't that be nice for everyone? For the birds, for the flowers, for us, for children frolicking in the playground. So I'm using the ですね, といいですね, because I'm talking about like other people, the world at large. I'm not talking just about myself here. Here's another one that's more like general terms. いつか世界に平和が訪れるといいですね. So いつか is someday, 世界 is the world, and then 平和 is peace. 訪れる is visit, literally, or to like arrive. But 平和が訪れる is a set phrase that means achieve world peace or peace comes. It's often used with sekai. So I hope that someday we achieve world peace. Wouldn't that be nice for everyone? But it doesn't have to apply. This といいね or といいですね does not have to apply to everyone, the world at large. It can apply just specifically to you, the person I'm talking to. So if you tell me, 明日試験があって緊張してるんだよ. Tomorrow, Shiai is a match, usually like a sports competition. Tomorrow I have a match. Shiai ga atte kinchou shiteru. Kinchou suru is to be nervous or anxious about something. So kinchou shiteru, I am anxious, nervous. And then the dayo, like I'm being emphatic. I'm explaining myself. I'm like, I'm just so nervous because I've got a sports match tomorrow. I've got sports ball tomorrow. If you tell me that and I tell you, katsu to ii desu ne, I'm telling you personally, I hope you win. Katsu is to win. Here's one where maybe you and I are having a conversation about a third party. So I'm not even saying in regards to you, I'm saying it in regards to somebody else. But again, not me. So it is just to ii ne. Jenny wa, so as for Jenny, you're not Jenny. Jenny is over there somewhere. We're just talking about Jenny. Jenny's a friend of ours. Jenny wa, 新しい彼女ができるといいね. 新しい彼女, new girlfriend, ができる. So 彼女ができる or 彼ができる means to get a boyfriend or to get a girlfriend. It doesn't mean like can do girlfriend. It's a set phrase. So I hope that, wouldn't it be nice if Jenny is able to get a new girlfriend? You and I are having a conversation and it's about Jenny, but I'm not talking about myself here, so I'm using to ii ne, not to iiんだけど or to iiんですが, but to ii desu ne or to ii ne. So I mentioned earlier that you can also apply this to ii desu ne, to iiんですけど, to iiんですが. You can apply these also to adjectives in their plain present tense, just like with verbs in their plain present tense. And it adds an I hope that... ... nuance to what you're saying. So, この映画は面白いです. That's just a statement. This movie is good. But if I say, この映画は面白いといいですね, I'm talking to you maybe, and I'm saying, I hope that this movie is good for both of our sakes. Maybe we're about to go see the movie. And I'm like, この映画は面白いといいですね. Like, I sure hope this movie is good. Wouldn't that be nice for you and me? Versus, この映画は面白いといいんですが, like, I only hope that this movie is good. It's sort of, it's like, I hope this movie's good. And kind of more talking about myself. In this case, maybe I'm about to go see a movie. I'm talking to you. We're friends, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go see. What movies are going on now? I don't even know. I haven't been paying attention. I'm gonna go see the latest MCU movie. I think Black Widow's movie is coming out in a few months or something. God, I'm so behind. Anyway, yeah, I'm talking to you, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go see the new Black Widow movie, and you're like, oh, that sounds cool, and I'm like, yeah, 面白いといいんですが, or 面白いといいんだけど. And then, yeah, like, I hope it's good though. And like, yeah, that's kind of my sentiment about the new Black Widow movie. I'm like, not as excited about that as I have been about the other new ones. Probably just because it hasn't been the same after Infinity War. Here's another example with a na adjective. So note how there's going to be a little changey in here. 明日の試験は簡単だ. 明日の試験は簡単だ. Tomorrow's test, shiken is a test. Kantan is easy. Kantan da or kantan desu. Tomorrow's test will be easy, is going to be easy. It's kind of a future tense sort of thing. Versus, 明日の試験は簡単だといいね. It means, gee, I hope tomorrow's test will be easy for your sake or for our sake. Or I could say, 明日の試験は簡単だといいんだけど. Man, I hope tomorrow's test is good. The one that I personally am taking, that I'm telling you about. So note that when you're using a na adjective, the little change is you have to drop the na and replace it with da in all of these cases. If it's an e adjective, you don't have to change anything. You just add to ii desu ne, or to iiんですが, or to iiんだけど, or to ii ne. But if it's a na adjective, you have to add the da. That's usually how you conjugate na adjectives. To review the sentences that we covered in this video, there are timestamps in the video description below or in a pinned comment at the top of the comment section. And also, don't learn all of your Japanese from just me. I am a Japanese to English game and anime translator. So I come with that perspective. I don't come with a native's perspective. Also, my accent is not great. So you should learn from many other sources if you want to have a more well-rounded experience learning Japanese. And every week I like to feature a different resource, preferably a smaller resource that you may have not heard of, where you can work on your Japanese. And this week I am featuring Stephen Kraft's Japanese projects. So if you're a little rusty on the material that I covered in my Japanese for Beginners series, which is based off of the Genki Volume 1 textbook, this website has interactive forms that drill you on verb conjugations, polite and plain, negative, conditional, like all different kinds of verb conjugations. And it's interactive tests for yourself. So it's a really great resource for testing your knowledge. Thank you to all the patrons who support this and the other Japanese language learning series on this channel. If you want to become a patron, you can receive extra materials, study guides, worksheets with answer keys that go with these series, as well as a monthly Sailor Moon song translation breakdown or an anime song translation breakdown that you vote on. And I hope that you tune in next week when we cover how Toki can modify verbs and adjectives. 頑張ってね!